bien, carnal.
What's up, everybody?
What up, what up, what's happening?
Welcome in.
I
Let's
was
get
looking
it.
at the day before the opening game of the tournament,
Mm-hmm.
after the playing games.
Right.
I was looking at how much the tickets were just to get into
What's
the second round at Golden One, specifically the UCLA versus what game was
or like
that?
Saturday?
UCLA.
Oh, it was like either Saturday or Sunday or whatever. Oh, up in Sacramento. Yeah,
Northwestern,
yeah. Okay.
UCLA Northwestern, just to get in with like $100,
Dang.
just to get in. I was like, that shit has to go down. Like I'm seeing some of these games, like
Did you check
just
like game time?
it was just immediately. So I think it was like whatever it was, Ticketmaster or something. So I'm sure game time day of, you could have got tickets probably pretty
Right.
cheap. But yeah, man, some of these games, man, the energy seems pretty live. I like that,
Yeah, for sure.
especially those smaller teams at
Okay.
FAUs.
Yeah. No, for real. Put the gain down. Put right there. Okay. Mark will be back, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get started.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, Joey Logano is not our third member.
He's
of the
not
show.
today.
No.
Yesterday, you got that little
Fuck,
little
man.
bump, bro, and he was gone.
I know.
He did. It's just like
It's like
crazy.
the
Like,
only block that Keslow missed, and it was the last one.
that's the part of NASCAR to me. It's just like, damn, like when they freaking get that little freaking draft, they're gone.
There was one where I think Reddick bumped Keselowski, and he just shot like a rocket. It was like
It's crazy.
it was within like like not even a whole straightaway, and he had gained so much on Logano. And then like not only were they side by side, but he bumped him, got in front of him, got past him, and got in front of him within one straightaway because of one little bump from Reddick.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
Yep.
Oh, they damn them all number 6 this week. Blue Book number 2. Did you read Blue Book number 1?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I don't know if I
that's
have it
one
on
of
my list. I think that was part of last week's list. I thought.
Yep.
I thought it was just okay.
Yeah, I didn't even read it. I got it, and it's one of those like I just didn't get to it,
Right.
but I did get it.
Right. Yeah. I thought it was okay. I think
Okay.
especially since it's like a 4, 5, or 6 issue miniseries, I think it's worth it.
Dark Horse, nice.
Yeah.
And then I see a new Doctor Strange this week.
Yeah, I pulled the first issue. I didn't put it on the pull list. I pulled the first issue. I swear to God, it was like I got like 10 or 11 2 weeks ago. Then last week I got 3. This week is like
And then
11 or 12 again.
I'm seeing
like
like all
every
these
other
books. I
week.
know you get Damn Them All. I know you're gonna get the Raja Ghul. I get the Punisher this week. Flash. Yep, it's gonna be a goodie.
Yeah. Okay.
Superman number 2.
Yep. Oh yeah. I know.
I know this.
Swamp Thing Green Hell number 3. Is that really going to come out, Mark? Thank God we don't get amazing. Can you imagine if we saw that Amazing Spider-Man, Star Wars, Darth Vader? I would have got friggin' like 15 books this week.
Yeah, those were good ones to drop at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undiscovered Country. We're looking at the last issue, by the way.
Last
I
one.
think number 23 said to be concluded. That's why I
Can't
believe
say
it
I'm
said,
mad.
because I haven't seen it in the last couple of previews. So
Just get it over with. Come on now.
it's just, I don't know. We were talking about it like 2 weeks ago. You know, it's like, why did it take so long? You know, it just drug out for so long. Okay, welcome in, folks. What's up, Caleb?
guys?
What's going on?
What's up, Caleb, the legend?
What's up?
Yeah, I got a couple of these booming image, either Neighbors number 1 or Dead Romans
181.
number 1.
Caleb, if you like Eric Almirola, I would tune out now. 'Cause I'm going
Mike's
in
buddy.
tonight, buddy. It's bad. It's bad for AA batteries, as Michael Mertz calls them. He's on my shit list.
Well, you already know his name's Eric, spelled with the A. He's already on the
Oh yeah,
bottom end of the.
yeah. What a loser! No, I'm kidding. Oh man, just it's crazy. Okay, let's do this this intro first.
That's dad.
Okay, let me get a moment of silence. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, fans, and welcome into another issue of the Comic Bookies podcast. 181 starts right now. First up, we have comic books. We're doing this thing every other week, so you know we have plenty of books to review, plenty of books to preview. Among them, we have Boom Studios, IDW, Image, Dark Horse. We have tons of publications to talk about. And in news, The Last of Us Season 2. We're not sure if we're getting it for another 2-3 years, so I'm kind of pissed off about that. The Oscars was a couple weeks ago, so we kind of touch on that a little bit, and we say goodbye to Lance Reddick. And over in sports, NASCAR, we're going to review the races at Phoenix and Atlanta, and then we're going to preview the next two races at COTA and Richmond. NCAA March Madness is in full force right now. The Sweet 16 are set, so we'll talk the first two rounds and preview this next weekend's game to get to us to the Final Four. And Team USA is in the finals for the World Baseball Classic. A little extra baseball to talk about besides spring training. All that and more on a brand spanking new episode of the Comic Bookies podcast. Let's get this thing rolling. Let's do it.
Do it. Very nice, Miguel.
Caleb, I didn't watch Mexico versus Japan. Was that today, Sean?
That was today, Caleb. It was a really, really good game, man. Mexico kept fighting back every time they fell behind, but at the end of the day, you know, the Japanese came through with that walk-off.
I have two kids, Caleb, so usually things like that get like put on the TV and like kind of do other stuff, and it's on in the background. So, but no, unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch that.
If it's not Monday Night Football.
Right? Shoot, Monday night's always the college football national championship, though, so I always make sure to catch that, you know?
Gotta catch that because you're about to be catching in 2 weeks the basketball national championship.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Sean, I got a third person to jump on our YouTube TV before it goes to $72.99 a month. They're increasing it $8 in April. So
they are, and they're actually promoting the hell out of it. I think they stopped the promoting all this past weekend when I was jumping on our account that we pleasantly got an invite from Mr. Salgado. It was like, oh, breaking news, we're up in this box.
I know, up in the thing. It's like just when you give me the multi-screen for March Madness, just when you say that, oh, we're going to have Sunday NFL Countdown, you're just trying to recoup all that money, all that stuff spent on it.
I told Mark, though, you know what? If you're paying under $100 for the quality that you're getting and unlimited recordings and the amount of shared accounts you can have, you know what? Under 100 is a steal.
Yeah.
100%.
Right. Yeah.
But you're delayed.
Who's delayed?
I had you know what was weird? When was it? Maybe like last Thursday. I think it was Thursday. The internet at the house just stopped working.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, what's going on? I thought it'd come back on. It didn't come on for like half the day. And then the internet on my phone went out too. So I was like, that can't be a coincidence.
It's Russia.
I don't know. It was kind of weird. They were like using the same lines or something.
Blame Russia or China.
Oh, buddy.
Right.
All right. Okay, so myself, Mark, Sean, and Caleb, we're going back live in 5, 4. The Every Other Week Crusaders are back with episode 181. What's going down, folks? The Comic Bookies podcast is here, brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Happy Monday night to everybody. This is live on March 20th, 2023. This weekend, actually, hold on. But this Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023 is New Comic Book Day, so go visit Alex if you're in the Fremont area or wherever you get your comic books. He's open every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Go and get your books any way you can. But yes, like I said, happy Monday to everybody. We're recording, a day earlier. Got some things going on in the middle of the week, but I am glad to be back in the saddle to collide the worlds of sports and comics. Mark and Sean, how are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. It is a little different doing it on a Monday, but I like it, Get the week started with my brothers. What else could I ask for? Our episode 181 is going to be super, super fun. All the crazy NASCAR stuff that happened with the races, the books we got to talk about, mentioning the World Baseball Classic, but, stepping back from all that fun stuff. Hey, life is good, man. Unfortunately, we do have some rain, I think, on the horizon, which does kind of suck again. But, hey, it is what it is. How are you guys doing?
That weekly weather update is always official.
No,
But not
what was it called? No hydrosonic. What was my wording, Mike?
hypersonic.
Hyper.
No,
No.
I think we're having one again tomorrow. But no, Sean, yes, you sound a little bit different. Little technical difficulties with your mic, but
Bro,
it's all good. But happy to see you guys back in the saddle every 2 weeks. Seems like a long time with so much news coming out. Seems like
Right.
still every other day there's some type of Disney news or some news with some show getting dropped, like you said, Mike, in pre-production with all these shows only lasting 1 or 2 seasons and whatnot. But things are changing the landscape every single day, and we're only doing it like twice a month, sometimes 3 if it lines up right
lucky,
for
yeah.
you guys. But I just feel like I missed so much that extra week. It's just I love talking to my brothers. I love talking to the fans, and it's just what we do and what we love. That's why we started the podcast. But
I mean, it's funny.
glad to be here for 181.
It's
And my guy won, so that's a plus. We'll get into that later.
I mean, it's funny. Like, we text enough about things that are happening.
We do.
If we could just compile our text messages and then put them out like a blog or like into a
Jeez.
separate podcast and like get one of those AIs to like actually read like read out our text messages. It's crazy.
And it's not just that. It's like I'll be sending you guys articles from the journal and whatnot, and good articles too. And sometimes I feel like we could talk about them, but it's like when I think about it, it's like we haven't recorded for 2 weeks. We have all these books to talk about, March Madness. I'm like, we're not going to get to these topics. It's going to be a 3-hour show, So I kind of just end up forgetting about them, whatever. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Fat stack. If you're on YouTube, everyone can see Mike holding up his fat stack.
It's crazy.
I have one as well. Mine, you might not.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Big.
There we go. There we go.
There it
Yeah.
is.
I mean, if you guys don't remember, I'm not even supposed to be here today. It's just
That's
it's just
right.
supposed to be you two. So Sean's talking hypersonic. I'm talking atmospheric rivers down in Southern California as well. So my wife woke me up at like on Thursday afternoon to it was the middle of my work week. So before I get ready for work, I got bad news. It looks like there's more rain, thunder, lightning, winds, possible flooding down in SoCal too, especially Anaheim. And so sure enough, there was rain yesterday on Sunday. I don't think about any rain today, but it's like 100% chance tomorrow. And it just, it just wasn't worth it to us. So we postponed it, delayed it, and rebooked it for a month from now when I'm shut down. The company is shut down anyways. So it's not like I'm having to rush home on that Wednesday. We can kind of hang out and, see a thing or two like on our way home and everything. So, so it was delayed. So Maddie was kind of upset, but, a Jamba Juice kind of was a little Band-Aid to put on the bad news of us not being able to go see Mickey Mouse. And then, of course, Indiana Jones reopened up like yesterday, so we would have been able to ride Indiana Jones.
Nice.
But we also, Toontown opens back up tomorrow, and today
Let's
and today,
go.
Monday, was supposed to be our Disneyland day, so we would have missed it by a day. So
It's all happening for a reason, Mike.
Yeah.
There's a reason why. So, I mean, hey, traveling with kids to Disneyland in the rain would have been no fun for them, no fun for you guys. So,
we already did that. It was December of 2021. One of the days it was downpour for like 6 or 7 hours, and then the next day when we were in the park, it was very good. But then like that night, everyone started to get sick. So it was like, that shit ain't worth it to me. Like we already have our tickets booked. We called the hotel and then we rebooked the hotel, and the lady's like, the lady said, oh, we don't have any more of your premium, 1 king rooms. You have to upgrade to a deluxe 2 queen room for that weekend. And we're like, oh, okay, fine. Like, what's the damage? Like, just charge me the difference. She goes, oh, no, it's $10 a day cheaper.
Oh, ding, ding, ding.
All right. There you go. Sign me up, lady. So, yeah, so all's hell that ends hell, but, but it's not too bad. So, just, and that weekend is on a week that we would normally not record, so I will not be missing.
God. Keep the good news
Right.
rolling, Mike.
Right.
Damn, I know it's a good
Right.
day today. This guy's excited here.
It's
Look
the
at
third
him.
time's a charm.
Instead of you two on YouTube, you guys get us 3 on the TV.
Right.
So,
Hey,
I mean,
like it.
first one was mass layoffs at work. Second one was a atmospheric river. Come on, third time's a charm. Nothing can stop this
It has to
vacation
be,
from
man.
happening.
Serious.
right.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
you're just doing yourself some good because you're giving yourself time for these attractions to keep opening up.
Right, and then hopefully the weather to get better too. Like right around my birth, it's the week before my birthday, so we don't usually see a lot of rain around May 1st. So fingers
I can't
crossed.
remember the last time we had rain your birthday time,
But
Mike.
it's a wacky ass year, so I don't know. We'll see.
That was like me. I really juggled that one when I went down to the NASCAR race with the snow,
Right,
right?
like the only day.
I was like, dude, I trusted that Apple. I trusted Apple weather, man. Steve Jobs hasn't let me down yet, right? So I was like, man, it's just Sunday looks good, so I'm gonna go, man. And they got it in and the extra Xfinity race, so that was
yeah.
cool.
And then this week is my last week working nights.
Yes.
So I work nights. I work my night shift on Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week, and I am back to a day shift. So same days, but just 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So now I get my Saturday nights back. Have you guys over to do something with the podcast or just hang out with the kids and stuff. So I'm excited for that one.
It's gonna be good, man. I think you might have
Keep the good news rolling.
The only bad news in all that will be some of the traffic you hit, but you know what? It's only 2 days a week, then 3 days a week. So
Right.
You know what? It's not every day, so you'll survive that.
Right. That's very true. Okay. Any other good news you guys want to report, or can we just get into these books?
Man, you know what? Let's just go with what you got, man. You've said so much good stuff today. We're not gonna say nothing to ruin it. It's gonna be good.
I know, right?
We just want to keep hearing your voice.
Keep going,
keep
Mike.
talking,
Come on,
Mike.
Mike.
Thanks. Okay, so in the books this week, we have DC giving us The Flash 795, Nightwing 102, Superman, the new story, number 2 comes out, Swamp Thing, Green Hell, Jesus Christ Almighty. And number 3, the third and final issue of that Black Label book comes out, and the final issue of Batman One Bad Day comes out as well on Wednesday. Ra's al Ghul is profiled in this one. Marvel gives us Amazing Spider-Man 22, She-Hulk 11, Star Wars Darth Vader number 32, Punisher number 10, and Carnage number 11. Image, Monstrous number 44, Vanish number 5, and the 24th and final issue of Undiscovered Country. IDW gives us another...
Good riddance.
I know, right? IDW,
Jeez.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 138, Boom Studios Dan Them All 6, and a new story, Neighbors, number 1. And Dark Horse gives us Blue Book, number 2. So if you're watching live on YouTube, or actually I should tell you, if you're listening wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Android, wherever you're going to get the podcast there, I have a big stack of books to talk about. I know if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can see it, but big stack of books. So wherever you guys want to start with either small publications or just what we previewed, if you're following us, actually, if you're listening, follow us on Twitter, because throughout the week, myself, Mark, and Sean, usually what I do is I'll read like a couple books a day, or I'll try to, especially if it's a big stack. And then of those couple books, I'll, kind of shout out the different artists and the writers of these said books. We get a lot of traction on these guys. I mean, of course, it's easy just to press a heart button for these, these artists and these writers. But I mean, like Ram V, he gives us a retweet. Like, it feels pretty good to get, I'm telling you, the comics community with giving love and like likes and retweets and follow backs and stuff is way easier than as if you're trying to get into like, politics or sports media and stuff. It's crazy.
I just wish it was as easy to get a damn Airbnb or a hotel for San Diego Comic Con in July, my boy.
Man, we'll get into that, bro. Are y'all still looking for that right now?
No, we haven't. But
okay,
we'll get into it after the books,
We'll get
because there's a
into
story tied to that shit. But
I look forward to books wise. We got some good books this week. I know me and Mike were talking before. I think Mark jumped on pre-production, but Punisher. I'm looking forward to that, of course. I know the Ra's al Ghul, that looks good, and that Doctor Strange number 1. We got to pull that number 1. It looks like it might be pretty good. See if Marvel throws something our way. Books wise, from the past 2 weeks, definitely starting with that Phantom Road number 1. Good old Image comic, Jeff Lemire. It was good. I liked it. Started like pretty simple. Some trucker having some marriage problems with his wife, hits the road. Him and some car kind of swerve, almost crash into each other. Come to find out there's like some funky object in the middle of the road. They both touch and it takes them to like the same road. They almost hit each other, but just nothing but desert. Come to find out there's like a weird person naked off in the sunset. The guy approaches them. It's like an alien zombie. I don't know, a little weird, but pretty much this guy gets in like a little bit of like a fist fight, ends up killing this monster type figure by stomping his head in, guts everywhere, something you'd like, Mike.
Hey.
And then he looks up in the, sunset and sees, oh shit, there's about 100 of them coming my way right now. So him and the girl get back in the 18-wheeler and drive off. So we'll see what happens in the next one. It was pretty good, good start, definitely worth getting the next one. And then I know Mark didn't read it, but that clear number one, I know Mike did also. Dark Horse, that thing was fuego, absolutely awesome.
It's really cool, man. So Mark, this is set like in the future, right?
2050 or something, right?
Yeah. So in a world, I'm trying to do like a movie preview. Like most everybody in the world now uses what's called veils, right? And they see the world how they want to see it. So you pay for a veil and you put it like, because everyone in their mind is like chipped. Like everyone has like chips and programming and stuff in their brains now. And so you buy these veils. And so like you're walking around, Mark, and it's summertime, but it's 1987, right? And you're going to the beach, but it looks like what everyone looks like in 1987. Or, you're in medieval times, right? So you're walking down the street and these guys are walking around like in Templar uniforms with shields and swords and shit. Or, hell, you pay a little bit extra, Sean, and you're in some pornographic, world
bro, that was wild.
Where all these people are trying to just hit on you and get at you and stuff, right? It's
the metaverse.
It's crazy.
Bro, it's crazy.
So there's this guy, Mr. Dunes, right? He's an investigator, right? Or he's like a private investigator.
He's like a private investigator,
right.
Yeah.
So he gets paid. So the specifics of this story, how it starts out, is that a wife pays him to tail her husband. Who's buying like these black veils, like the like stronger ones, right? And so he's also trying to bring down like a whole conspiracy, a whole big, entity that's selling these things, right? And
what's that group called again?
I forget, man.
Yeah. No, you keep
That's
going.
the problem with, having to read 15, 16 books over a 2-week span. But anyways,
is it you can't remember all the little minutia.
Alcaten, I think that's either the group or that's one of the guys that he recognizes, right? And so, but yeah, so he, it kind of the bus kind of goes awry, and he gets chased by him, and of course then the detective then stops everyone like, what are you doing? And he actually he stops him because he has news that his ex-wife has killed herself. So they go to the morgue. They find out that this detective or this other police officer, they were military buddies. They were ex-military guys, and sure enough, they get a visit. Oh, that's right. So he goes back to his office, and he got a visit from the wife, right?
Yep.
And then also, like, he's like, "How'd you get in here?" He goes, "Oh, well, there was a package at the door. There's a box outside the door, and it was the watch that he gifted her, the ex-wife, right? And then if he turns it over, and scribed on the back of it says, 'I was murdered.'" It's pretty crazy, right?
It is crazy.
And then so it was cool because it was an extra $1. It was $4.99, but there was like a second part to the story. It was like the back in the day in the Taiwan Strait when these two guys, the police officer and Mr. Dunes, they were in the military together, and how warfare was conducted and how they kind of bugged and hacked their missiles. So their ship goes pew, pew, and shoots like these dozen missiles, and you turn the page and the missiles are coming back. Like China had bugged them and like hacked them to come back right at their own ship, and it was a pretty crazy scene there. And then that's so he gets injured and stuff, and then that's where he meets the ex-wife. She's a nurse, right? And then so those guys that work for the the big guys, the criminal entity, they find him at his house. Because this is pretty crazy, Sean. They go to the DOC, the Department of Connectivity, and remember there's that huge tree. Remember there's that huge tree.
Yeah. That's towards the end. Yes.
That it's only down there, and it's full of just all these veils. And at the very end, that doctor or whatever who's kind of in on it, he gets killed. Remember, it looks like George Washington or whatever, and then it gets killed. So the cool thing is that this guy, Mr. Dunes, he stays clear. he never puts a veil on. He sees things for what they are, and that's a very rare thing to do. So it gives him an advantage in his job and everything. So he finally goes to he gets a tip on where the wife may have been or where this place is, and then there's a bunch of people there with guns, and yeah, it says he did die. So I mean, it's pretty crazy. I don't know if he did die, but it was a very good start to the story. Scott Snyder, Francis Manipul, great start to the story.
How did you
know how many issues it is?
It's Dark Horse. I would probably say 4 or 6.
Do you think all the other ones going to be as long as this one, or is this kind of just the first one will be as long as it was?
I'm not sure if it's like a Mandalorian where they give you the first 2 episodes and then every other week is just 1 episode. I'm not sure if it's like that. It'd be cool. Like I would pay an extra $1 to get basically 2 issues worth.
It's good.
It's definitely worth it at that point, paying $2.50 an issue, right? So,
how did you like Deadly Duo this week?
It was okay. I mean, it was the big reveal, obviously, of who's behind all of this, and then just how many people are down there.
Bro,
heads on pikes.
Hella people.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The daughter's there, and she's about to just basically walking down the aisle, and and then finally James Gordon's there, and he goes, "Hey, let's kick some ass."
Gordon looks sick, bro. He looks busted up, man.
Man, half the Batman stories we read, freaking either Alfred looks sick or beaten up, or Jim Gordon's getting beat up, or he looks like he's got cancer or whatever. They're always getting messed up,
Yeah.
But that was a pretty good issue. Mark,
it was
what you got going?
Man, just everything really.
I know, right?
A lot of what you guys got. Just kind of want to just highlight those 2 AWA books that I'm reading. I know you're reading one. You're not reading Black Tape, but you're reading Red Zone. Obviously, there it is, upside down, but it's there. AWA, Red Zone by Colin Bunn, and of course, one of our favorites, the Brazilian himself, Mike Deodato Jr. and Lee Luffridge. Just one of the main men for AWA here, and just always have good
Sean,
stories.
Isn't this if this isn't Bad Mother artwork?
Yeah, exactly.
That is classic
Bad Mother,
artwork, especially that top picture of that.
Bad Mother, the one where all those guys are getting killed by the guy with the 4-leaf clover on his hand. He's on a lot of books. He's on a lot of these books.
Was he on Red Border also?
I think he's on the Resistance too. The OG, the original book that the AWA released, I think he's on there. Him and Mike Straczynski. Yeah. So this was a good book, man. Obviously, the beginning.
Kind of what like your typical, but it's it's a professor, right?
It felt like an Indiana Jones story to me. It was pretty cool. They need him to go and retrieve this girl. She's a professor. He knows full on Russian. He can kind of blend in and everything. And then shit goes south as soon as he gets there.
So what do you think that the mom is Dunzo or what, and that he just has the daughter now? Because basically, he meets with the mom. The daughter comes, and the mom is telling him about the daughter, that she's gonna be like some, I forgot what she was saying, like some ambassador type or something. Right. And then it all goes down. They're all getting watched, and all that espionage crap starts going down. The place blows up. They get away. Typical, just like Russian spy story, but it's really good, knowing
it turns
that it's
super explosive. I think the mom is dead, unless she's Kryptonian. Yeah, unless she's unless this is an off story of the Resistance, and she's one of the people who have powers. Yeah, she gone. But it's cool that they were in that area, and he knew of a place to go. Oh, hold on, like I know, beep, 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 and then it's like a safe house, right? So. Obviously, if they kind of go back in time to the time that he was in Russia before, they might get into why he knows all this stuff, right? Like, he's not just some professor like Indiana Jones is, right?
Yeah, we're definitely going to get more on this book coming up. When is it? I think next week we might get it again, right? Or maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But Black Tape is also really good. Dan Panosian, Dalibor Talajic. It's always hard to pronounce his name.
I love that art.
Talajic?
Yeah. I think that was, what was he on? Was he on like Harleen or something?
He might have been. No, that's Sajak or
Oh yeah, another like Croatian sounding last name. Yeah, another Chich.
yeah, but
Modric.
not. I mean, but you might be right
Ah
because
man, there's
he's done
something he's
stuff
on
with
that's I really like.
he's on AWA stuff before also. So, but not Black Tape's cool as well. Obviously, it's a story with the very famous musician that basically was taking lives and taking names, pretty much doing like some weird stuff down in the basement. The house is haunted, right? The wife is starting to get answers, but it's starting to get like a little bit freakier for her. She can't really live at home because she's discovering more stuff. And there's this crazy like deer on the wall that eyes always light up when something's about to happen. But it's just like your classic like horror type. It's great. It's just gonna see how it's gonna go these next 2 issues. It's also a 4-issue series, but I think I think he might not even be dead, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. But other books, The Human Target, I read that one just finished issue 12. What can I say? The only thing I can say is go get the trade paperback. Freaking awesome. The way it ended, I'm not going to spoil it, but I didn't think it ended. I didn't think it was going to end the way it ended. I thought it was going to be a little bit different, but it does end a certain way. So I'll let you figure that out if you want to read it. But it was freaking great. Christopher Chance, obviously, taking some venom for Lex Luthor, and basically has 11 days to die. Spends his 11 days with ice, and kind of fending off members of the Justice League that are trying to attack him, and him trying to figure out who was trying to get at Lex. And it's just that crazy Tom King story. Just freaking awesome, though. I just love the art. The art obviously was by Greg Smallwood. And when he gets on these 12-issue Black Label books, man, there's no one better that does it than Tom King, really. So, I mean, I don't really suggest trades all the time, but man, this is like a really, really good book. And all of them really have been. But as much as we liked Strange Adventures, I mean, this one's just on par with a book like that as well. It was great.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I think when that was going to come out, I think I was in a state of I need to like cut down on the number of books I was getting. So I think I barely like just cut that one.
Missed
But
it.
a trade, definitely. And then right on episode, 450, I'll have the time to read that thing. So yeah, I'd say in about 10 years or so.
What was the
Almost there.
What was the Tom King story that I was reading? I can't remember it now. The one right before this one. Tom King. It was like another 12-issue. It wasn't Strange Adventures. He had another one. I don't think you read it either.
Well, he has Gotham City Year 1.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that one.
Okay. I'll continue. Image Comics gives Almighty #2, Edward LaRoche. This was a pretty good one. This is also set in like a post-apocalyptic, post-war era. There's a girl. She has a bounty on her, but it's for a rescue, right? And and one of the lady who's hunting her down and finally gets to her and saves her from this biker gang and everything. This is issue #2, so she's pretty much just trying to lose the tail of this biker gang, and then they go to like a bar, have a couple drinks or whatever, listen to some music, and they go out to the back alley to leave. And then a couple of these biker gangs have now caught up to her because of course it's a gang, right? So they don't have guys just at like one city, this city. They're all all over the place. So they're like, hey, nice bike. And then they called out like the make and model of that bike. Hey, it's who we're looking for, whatever. And then she kills the bounty hunter gal. She kills these guys, 5 guys like that easily. And then unfortunately a police officer shows up and says, hey, like, we're not doing this right now. Like, put it down. I know it was self-defense, but put it down. And she, she has no choice but to put the cop down. I'm not sure if the cop's dead. Does the cop dead? Yeah, I think the cop did die. But anyways, so now they're on the run again, and it's a pretty good story. Nothing that I would have grabbed if it was like 12 or an ongoing series, but I believe this is only like a 5 or 6 issue miniseries. So good one from Image Comics there.
Nice.
Sean, where are you at on Know Your Station?
Know your station. Oh boy. Jesus, I'm probably not where I need to be. I can tell you right now.
Okay, so number 4 came out. This is just a great story. Again, set in the future, right? Like on this space station, you know. Just
You know what? Yeah, go ahead and talk about that
no,
one,
it's
Mike.
just
I
multiple
think.
murders still happening again and again, and
Mhm.
and you know how she has like everyone has the AI in their brain, right? And they can talk to her, right? Like
Yep.
Saint Bridget or whatever her name is, however you pronounce it. And basically, there's the first 3 issues and this issue. There's just disgusting looking murders, right? Like this one, they skinned the person, they turned him inside out, cut the body like in half, and they hung him. Right? They hung. It's disgusting. They also had there was one where the guy was sitting in the chair and he was still alive, barely, and his lungs and everything were hanging out of his chest. Like they actually opened up his chest cavity, took the lungs out, and the heart and everything was just
Damn.
sitting there. He was sitting in a chair and he was still alive. It's pretty crazy.
Must be a reason why I didn't get that.
Right.
All right.
It was
already.
it was pretty crazy. And the cool aspect about this one is, of course, by reading the first couple issues, is that she's sort of an addict to this drug. She's trying to get off of, I forgot what it was. But it's the screen turns blue, like all the colors turn blue when she takes
It's
it.
for one of the first pages of number 1.
Right,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
right. So she's struggling with that, and I don't know how, but it's pretty crazy. It takes a turn, but they're getting a distress call from one of the areas they go, and it's Saint Bridget. It's the AI. It's the person who's just supposed to be like, kind of like Gideon in Legends of Tomorrow and all that stuff from Star Labs and everything. But the last page is it's her body that looks like this, and they're like, oh, they killed me or whatever. But yeah. So I don't know how the hell that happened. Like it was in human form and there's blood. It's like it's
That's
so
actually pretty
trippy.
good.
But yeah, leading up to that story, it's pretty good. Cool investigative stuff, a lot of detective work that she does, and like it's one of the stories where it's like she just misses every murder, just missed it, just
course.
missed it. Like as soon as she thinks of who's gonna be the next target, oh, I'm gonna go check up on this person. They're dead.
And he gone.
Right. So it's cool. Real quick,
nice.
Traveling to Mars, really cool one. This is a really cool one. This is all basically he's writing in a journal because he's by himself in space, going to Mars to try to claim it for a big corporation. Then a representative from a rival corporation pretends to be his ex-wife to go on the screen and talk to him like, oh, hey, wait, is that you? And then she starts yelling, we have your wife, we have your family. If you don't give Mars to us when you get there, we're gonna kill them all, blah, blah, blah. And then so now he's like, what the hell? A whole week goes by, no communication from the company that originally sent him up there to Mars. And then so finally they tracked the lady down and 2 other executives from that company, put them on their hands and knees and said, what do you want me to do with them? Do you want me to go ahead and like kill him for you? And they admit to bluffing. It was only, they don't have the ex-wife and stuff, but the whole lead up to him being able to talk to the ex-wife doesn't happen. So issue number 4, I think it's a short story.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. It is cool. Let's see what else. Mark, what do we got here?
We got Flash,
I got
Flash,
basically
Batman,
DC. I got basically DC left. The Joker one's pretty cool. I'm glad. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's like an 8-issue series. It's cool. I think.
It's getting a little like.
I mean, I always love Grundy
Like,
in a story. I mean,
how many Jokers are there now, though?
how many Jokers and then
Is it
Cohen's 2 stories coinciding right now, going at the same time, have a Grundy in them. That's pretty cool.
right?
That's
Right.
Detective, right? Detective, and then this Joker story has Grundy at the very end. The huge
Detective.
reveal, amazing.
Way, big boy.
Right. So this Joker book is pretty good, but again, just like Deadly Duo, I'm glad it's like a 6 or 8-issue miniseries and not a whole 12 or an ongoing story. I don't need it to go that long.
Agreed.
Definitely feel you. I've had that same conversation with Alex. He keeps saying like the Joker, someone like whatever, like every 2 or 3 years we can see him. We don't have to see him all the
Right.
time, but maybe with these 2 books back to back, I think Alex even said that he thinks that they'll probably just not even that after this one we're not going to see him for a while. Could be
That's
true.
good because if they continue this Joker story, like the one with Jim Gordon, and then if this was probably like part 2 of it. If they continue it again, I don't think I'll get it.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't think I'll get it.
Especially, yeah, definitely. Just You know, I don't know. This one wasn't Rosenberg. I mean, it's all right. I feel
cool.
like it picked up compared to the first 2 or 3 issues, but I don't know. It's just reading a lot of stuff right now, a lot of DC. Human Target probably was like one of my favorite books I was reading, but it's just like I said in pre-production, like a lot of Batman lately, just getting kind of overloaded. Maybe that's my fault also because I kind of backload my DC readings and offerings, kind of read those last. So because I know we're probably going to discuss those more often, but it is what it is. Mike, what'd you think about The Riddler, Year One by Mr. Paul Dano? And Steven, there's another itch right there.
Right.
Subich.
I will say thank you. I want to say, because I'm shouting him out twice, but Alex, thank you so much. When we go to the shop and there's posters all over, all you have to do for us three, just say, hey, I want that poster when you take it down. So he gave me the OG, the first issue of the Riddler Year One. He packaged it up, and that was in my box this week. What he also gave me, though, if you're on YouTube or if you're listening to this right now, go to the YouTube page. First of all, like and subscribe to this channel and video. Thank you.
Yes,
but also these Alex Ross variant covers are freaking amazing. Oof. And like usually when he sends us a couple extra books, those are for the giveaways. I don't know if I want to give these away. Right? You got the Juggernaut right here. It looks real.
That's clean.
Yeah, those are sweet.
You got Ultron.
I mean, you can't show them off like that if you're not going to give them away, my boy. You can't.
I can make people jealous. I can make people jealous. There's Scorpion. Like it's
you teasing naughty. You teasing me naughty.
But anyways, going back to Paul Dano's Riddler Year One. I mean, for being an actor, I mean, he writes a pretty good story. You know, I mean, he was involved in the making of the movie.
Is he better than Aaron DeVito?
As far as writing,
didn't DeVito write a book?
Yeah,
also?
he wrote the Penguin story, and I think it was it like the
it wasn't that long ago.
No, it was the villains one. It was the
That's
one
right.
where they had a short story of the villains.
That's
the
right.
Year of the Villain. No,
That's
not
right.
the Year of the Villain. It was something. It was recent. It had a cool little like poison ivy and everything in the background. Yeah. But anyways, he's just starting to figure everything out, Mark, and he's just waiting and waiting and waiting for them to make a move, right? Because he wants to catch him in the act and everything. And it's not like, oh my God, it's the best, but it's cool to see that we're in the universe of the Batman, you know?
Yeah,
and then he starts communicating with the girl back and forth now. So at least he's communicating.
Yeah, with the girl that had the dad, right, that's making that,
who's pretty much now kidnapped and working for them, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of cool how they were like communicating on like through the computer on like some dark web type of stuff, and
kinda
he was like he basically said, "If I,"
that's how they remember on the computer when it was like, yeah,
oh yeah. But you know, like we're gonna get into this book soon too. But you see how like Edward Enigma comes up in I think it's the Batman that we were reading, right? But it's like that Edward Enigma compared to the one that we're reading in this story. It's just like I like this type of Riddler like way more, right? Like that darker. Like I mean, like I said, I thought this book was a 3-issue book. It's obviously not. I think it's going to be either 5 or 6 from Mr. Dano here, but yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. It's something different, right? It's not Joker, it's not Batman. It's, you know, a character that I don't get too much of, like, you know, Harley or whatnot, but
right.
And like the art's different. But it's just, I just want the story to pick up a little bit. It felt like this issue 3 was a lot like number 2. Him kind of just going through the motions, figuring out the numbers, talking to the boss, getting, you know, confirmation from the boss. He can go find papers, and, you know, he goes to like Fort Knox of this company that took over and's got all of the, what do they got? They got like all of the information for Gotham, like stored away, and he gets access to it and whatnot. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, no, I do like it.
Would I pick it up now if I didn't start it from day one? Since day one, probably not. Since day one. You my day one.
What did you guys think about Batman?
Batman was good. I definitely like this one of the two Batman stories. I like this one more because I'm like a multiversal guy. Because people get confused, right? Like my dad can't even watch Back to the Future because he's like, "What freaking year are they in? Are they in 1955 or
What year, time
1985?"
zones?
And my mom has to like stop the movie every freaking time and explain like, "No, now they're in 1955, and because he did this, this, and this in 1955, when he goes back to 1985, everything's changed." Like he can't comprehend or wrap his mind around it, where we've been reading these books for so long that I can't get enough of it, like a freaking like a venomed out Harvey Dent, and then it
I love that
Ron
encounter
Ron just wants to know why Waller wasn't being a team player, healing that hammy on the sidelines.
good riddance.
Getting,
And you're like even like little teasers to everything we want to talk about
I
tonight.
didn't like I do like the encounter that he had with Alfred at the cemetery.
Yes.
And I'm really interested if Selina's going to actually turn her back on Batman. But I think she really is kind of like triggered on how the whole Red Mask guy's working on all these kids. And she's like, nah, that's a big no-no.
I mean, Selena Kyle has always been like an anti-hero, just like Harley Quinn. You really can't tell, because sometimes they do a lot of stuff for themselves, or like Harley's really like, something will flip in her mind, and all of a sudden now she's with Joker again,
Forget
right?
it.
So we don't know. But the Red Mask has some speed to him, like as if he's like a Flash, like.
Yeah.
and he was slapping her up too.
Yeah,
huh?
snappy with bro. The minute she started popping her lip a little bit, he goes, "Oh nah, go get Batman. That's all you need to do."
Right? Yeah.
You won't even see that in the movies in 2023.
Come
So
on
man,
now,
that's
man.
a comics bringing the backhand in it. Backhand in
Yeah,
there.
so
man.
there's-
Look here,
Crazy.
woman.
Yep. All right.
Giving her some of that act right.
Is it dumb? But he's just trying to figure out how his Bruce Wayne of that, how he was killed, right?
Yep.
So, and it all comes back to
Hey, pull
the
up.
Joker, of course.
Wait, Bruce is trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
When you pull out that body and got no eyes and stuff, I'm like, oh
But
boy.
he thinks that Red Mask has a way for him to get back to his universe.
Of course.
But you're right about Dent. Man, he's all
Looks
venomed
it
out.
looks
That
pretty
boy.
sick.
pretty
But like,
pretty
yeah.
wild.
So finally, Selena takes him down into Arkham Caves because Arkham
Bro,
Asylum is no
okay.
longer there anymore. And then actually the backstory is cool. I think the Robins are in another universe as well with Toyman and all the different people who are possessed by the Toyman. And how gross was that when he went in like, oh no, this is meat, like that version's that universe's Toyman. It was one final person they needed to grab to save, and he was getting like dissected pretty much while he was still alive. So,
Oof.
but they finally.
not to hop off the topic of this book real quick, but didn't you find it funny that in both Batman and Detective, both books kind of ended with them being down at caves?
Well, yeah, true. I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
noticed
pretty
that
true.
actually.
Yeah, they're down in the sewer. Yeah, for that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, because in Detective, those the Arson family or whatever, they're swiping up all these people, Gotham
they are,
citizens,
all
and,
those
and caging them up. They're gonna, use them to join their army, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? It's crazy what's going on. What Ram V's got going on in Detective
Yeah.
as
On
well.
the page right here, yeah.
But you'll see what
Like some strays.
Solomon Grundy is going to have to say about that going forward.
Solomon Grundy, dude, his image is hella dope.
So
at the
sick.
end.
That's what I said in
The
the tweet.
whole
It was like his
page.
reveal was
It's
freaking
literally
dope,
the whole
dude.
page. That's so badass.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing, bro. Is like till the end of time, I will never not have Batman. I will never not have Detective. Like, there's been some home on the range issues for sure of Batman and Detective, but for the most part,
Legendary.
these are some of the best written stories, and there's a reason why we had Tom King, James Tynion, Ram V, like have some of the best.
Right.
Scott Snyder was during the New 52 era. Like, we have the best talent on the best character. Have to. It's great.
And with us talking about comics, I almost have to bring this up because I guess it kind of goes into news, but it is comic related, so it's not getting away from I guess the comic talk that we're having. But seeing Tom King, that he actually has a Penguin new series coming out.
Wait, who
Does he?
Yeah, Tom King does.
Oh, really?
I'm seeing right now in comicbook.com that the Penguin is getting his own comic series written by Tom King. It will be released in June
Oh,
2023.
dang. So this is we're probably getting previews this week. That's why. Usually, like on that Monday before previews comes out, they usually start to drop like their new stories that are going to be in there. So yeah, okay.
That's going to be badass. I've always held like the Penguin. I don't know. That's going to be dope as
Nice.
hell.
The Penguin gets his own comic, comic series from fan favorite Batman. Damn.
Yeah, arson cover by Stefano Gaudiano and Scorpio Still.
It will be released fall of June 2023.
There it is. Yeah.
In addition, landmark 800th issues for both the Flash and Wonder Woman. What's that? Oh, this is just
That's probably the Dawn of DC stuff. Yeah, that's pretty
I
cool.
had to bring that up there. I
Nice.
know a little comic book talk, and that's something those kind of things always stand out to me. Those kind of characters, I like him. Get his own book too.
So speaking of Flash, part 5 of the 1 Minute War. It was very short. But I thought it was good because it was kind of funny because the little girl found out that she could just throw her brother at people.
Bro, she's cool, man. She stepped up right first page. She like steps up right to like that just monsterish looking like.
Right.
Hey,
I mean, she looks like the Batwoman who laughs, right? Like the Batman who laughs with female style.
Exactly.
It's crazy with her mouth all sewn shut and stuff. And oh, I see everything. Blah blah. Blah. Oh, well then see this bitch. Just freaking yeah. And then Superman, like he can go so fast, almost as fast as the Flash family, right? And tapping into that Speed Force, and he can grab the tails, and right, that was pretty cool.
That was badass. That was pretty good, actually.
So something's going to have to happen, obviously, because it's one of those stories where, come on now, you can't kill Iris, you can't kill Wally. Like something's got to happen to where, like Barry said at the very end, like to make it seem like it never happened, right? So they're going to have to do something. And then good old Jay Garrick. Yep, he's here to do two things: chew bubble gum and kick some ass. He's all out of bubble gum.
and that was actually good. I like that. But how he's like basically shackled up. It almost looked like the bad guys basically letting him out. Am I it looks like obviously the shackle's kind of like getting shot off, but that's not him shooting it off.
Right. So the panel is like they're going to dissect him with that yellow laser.
Yes.
So what he does is it looks like he either spits out a loose tooth, but he spits it out right in the center chest of the guy, which kind of changes the direction. So he kind of like, oh, here, I'll take that as it's going on. Boom.
There
and then
it
breaks him loose. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that last page just had like he just sitting there big show ready to whoop somebody ass.
So I'm not sure what we missed though, with that one shot, the one that Alex had to reorder for us. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. Shout out Anthony Napier. Shout out fellas, very cool show. Sean, I don't know if it's the Anthony Napier that we know from high school.
I don't even know one Tony Napier.
Yeah, I don't know if it's him, but yeah. But thank you so much for tuning into the show. And finally, we have Action Comics 1052. What'd you guys think? Metallo, just more fighting. I think it's a pretty cool story. Just I'm interested to see how it's going to evolve with the behind the scenes, what Lex is really up to, and how much control of everything he has. You know, Mark.
And this ties in with the Superman as well, right? That we're getting from Williamson.
Right. I mean, they try to, right? They even want to tease us and try us to get that the John Kent one too. But I'm not budging. I can't budge.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see what's going to happen with all these, the Superman, the family, and obviously the kids from War World and whatnot, right, that are kind of getting hated on, and just the guy thinks that Metallo, or at the end they think that Metallo.
Hey man, you want to come fight with us? I'm like, nah, dude.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. I like the direction it's going. He's back from War World, and it's just the Dawn of DC series. So, I mean, I'm excited to see where it's going. Really,
right? I mean, and then Metallo at the very end, he's going to use those guys pretty much to make them into fellow Metallos. He goes, Superman's got a family. I got to make a family of my own. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's on a rampage, right? And it's not. And it's kind of like on his own also, because Lex isn't really, he just doesn't.
Sean, it is Tony.
Sean's not here right now, but he's coming.
Sean, you hear that? It is Tony.
Tony, oh,
my man,
the one and only. The one and only.
Bro, we're coming up on 20 years graduated. Good to see you. Good to hear from you, Tony.
Man.
Hope all's well, man.
What's up, Tony?
Man.
But yeah,
Mr. Napier.
But yeah, it's
Tony, that's
it's a cool story. It's a cool way to end the comic books too. So obviously more to come when we're back for 182 in a couple weeks. Sean, man, so you're caught up. You finished Last of Us. I still have like 2 or 3 episodes left. But dude, I saw the article today. Like they're not even starting the second season until later this year or early next year. We're not going to get season 2 until 2025. Come on now.
That's the problem, I think, into what you were saying also about a lot of these shows.
Who's
either
writing
being
it?
for one
Jeff Lemire?
season. Well, some of these shows being like one season and getting canceled, these other shows taking forever, like Stranger Things, like some of them took like 2 or 3 years. And the thing is, I think so many of these characters are so much other shit.
Game of Thrones too, like that last season of Game of Thrones took like 2.5 years to make.
Those and I know maybe certain things take time, like the Game of Thrones, like that thing probably took time. You see a lot of the imagery, all the CGI
and then
stuff that went into
COVID threw a wrench in some of those shows too.
And COVID, but then you think like, I mean, Mr. Pascal, that boy, in so much stuff right now.
Right.
He's hot. He's hot right now, and I think that definitely plays a little bit of an issue. Like, how are we going to fit in his schedule? Like, straight up.
He's the busiest right now, Pedro Pascal. He's the busiest in all those freaking. Have you guys been seeing all those like GIFs?
Daddy.
Like that have the GIFs. Have you seen those where it like says Nicolas Cage and he looks all annoyed, like and then it goes to Pedro Pascal and he's like. Have you seen any of those on like Instagram or?
I haven't, but I watched it.
Dude, it's
I'm
pretty
like so
funny.
Sold on him, bro. It's funny too because when you actually hear him talk, also he just sounds like the most just chill, relaxed.
You know why? Because he doesn't have any kids. No, kidding.
He probably does. He ain't got any white
doesn't.
hairs either. No, I like it. You know what? He's badass. I really like him. Definitely enjoying it. And you're going to enjoy the last couple episodes of The Last of Us. It's really good, bro.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Okay, Oscars recap. So we haven't recorded since the Oscars. Pretty much, everything was won by everything everywhere all at the same time, right? So I ended up watching it. I enjoyed it. This is like I was like halfway through the movie. I turned to Danielle. I was like, "Was this a graphic novel?" Or is this like an original script or whatever? Because this could definitely be from a comic book or it can be then made into a comic book. This was crazy. It was like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon meets like, Quentin Tarantino style movie. It was crazy. It was like, what the hell? These people have hot dog fingers and like, what the fuck's going on? Like it was crazy. It was crazy. But
it was like that, huh?
Yeah.
Bro, it was wild, bro. Like I said, I was doing a couple of different things. It was actually the wrong movie to just put on when you're doing certain things because you start catching like hot dog fingers. Like what the hell?
There's a whole universe where everyone has hot dog fingers, bro. Like, and they're eating with their feet. Like, it's just what the hell's going on? They're playing the piano. Oh man,
God, hilarious!
It's cool, but like, yeah, I noticed like right when the movie started, right? Like they're talking, and you see in the security camera, the dad all of a sudden switches, and he like does the little flip over the washing machine. I'm like, what the hell was that? And then obviously the next scene is when he goes in the elevator and he talks to her like he's the different person, right? But it's
that's when I was like, okay, it's gonna be one of those movies when she's when she's talking to the whoever won Best Supporting Actress,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
When she's talking to Jamie Lee Curtis and she's also in the janitor's closet, I'm like, oh man, this is crazy.
She punches, dude. But then what's funny too is like, remember everyone's doing like their own thing to be able to jump. It has to be something like you have to do something specific to be able to jump into like that body.
Yes.
And remember like there's one guy, remember when they're in like the office and the mom is like kicking everyone's ass and there's that one guy in the background just freaking air humping. Like, did you see that?
All right, there was the most suspect freaking part.
What about well, and remember she had
the two guys that had the freaking thing sticking out their ass.
What? Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
He was literally
and they're trying to jump onto the freaking trophy that looks like a freaking butt plug.
Bro, it was so fun. Then she's fighting both of these guys.
She's fighting both these guys with a bunch of dildos. Mark, it's like, dude, you have to watch it. It's like you're gonna say like, what the hell? Like, dude, so many times. It's so funny.
Her daughter beat somebody to death with like a fucking 2-foot.
Dude, it's hella funny.
Bro, it's freaking weird,
Yeah.
dude.
But the one that was like, oh shit, was remember he had to give himself 3 paper cuts in between his fingers. He had to
I
have
don't
paper,
know.
and he had to give himself 3 paper cuts in order for him to jump. And like he has a headset set up, and he can jump from his body to another version of himself. It's
that was-
it's
I
freaking
didn't
weird,
even
but then
look
it's
at
like
that.
then it mixes in with the humor and the craziness. I thought it was good. I mean, I didn't see any of the other films. I didn't see like All Quiet on the Western Front. I didn't see The Whale, but I mean, it was good. I don't know if it deserved Best Picture, but I thought it was great. I thought it was good. So
Nice. Yeah, All Quiet on the Western Front was a Netflix movie. I watched most of that. Didn't get to finish it. I probably will, but it was, it's always those kind of movies that win, Best Picture. Like it's cool.
yeah. Happy for
that's what people are looking for.
Robot Man, Brendan Fraser,
Yes.
best actor. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny.
Awesome. For sure.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I said it's funny that the guy who won Best Supporting Actor, Short Round from Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom and Data from The Goonies, both of them, him and Brendan Fraser, were in Encino Man.
Legendary.
And then of course Harrison Ford has to present the best movie. So when he goes up there, it's like Indiana Jones and Short Round all over again. Oh man. And of course, randomly last night I'm folding laundry. I'm doing some work on the computer too, and it's Indiana Jones Temple of Doom is on. I'm like, oh, there they are. It's pretty cool.
That's legendary, bro. What did I say on Harrison Ford? Is it true that he didn't become an actor until he was like 30 or 40 years old?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because
That's
the
crazy.
Star Wars franchise started in, I think, 1976. I think the original 3 Star Wars movies are pretty much identical with the years that the Raiders won the Super Bowl. Like Episode 4 came out in 76,
There you
then
go.
1980, and then like 1982 or 3. Like it was just off by a year, right? And so, but I think that was one of his
Nice.
earlier movies, that and Indiana Jones, So,
Harrison Ford, I
Right.
love him, man.
and then we do have to say goodbye to one actor, Lance Reddick, dead at age 60. I don't know. At the time of his death, they didn't know what it was. Like he had just died of natural causes or whatever. So I don't know if he had a heart attack in his sleep or whatever. But I thoroughly enjoyed his character in Fringe. Fringe, the 4 or 5 season show on Fox. Loved his character there. Didn't really see him in anything else. But R.I.P. to that gentleman.
Somebody died today, Mike. Actually, he is a
I'm sure
character
somebody
that
died
was
today.
both.
Sorry.
Somebody died right now. No, it was a character that was both in, I believe, Star Wars and Harry Potter. I want to say it was. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my god, I was gonna bring it up to you, bro, and I totally. Oh, here it is, right here. His name is Paul Grant.
Paul Grant. Can you show me the?
I'm not sure what character he played. But I mean, it was big enough to be on E News. They just randomly came up my.
Yeah.
It came up on my.
They also forgot it. They also
Instagram.
forgot a bunch of names on the in memoriam too, like Paul Sorvino and who else? Couple other names. Obviously, Tom Sizemore had just died like a week before, but they forgot him. A couple other actors that they Gilbert Gottfried they didn't even put on there. So there's a bunch of actors that they forgot. So,
Definitely R.I.P. though, for sure, man.
Speaking of Oscars, you think Shazam: Fury of the Gods has any chance of winning anything
Bro,
next
they
year?
said
Michael?
their Rotten Tomatoes are Rotten Tomatoes. And again, I'm like, Mike, I don't give 2 craps, but like I kind of hate to see that sometimes.
right, yeah, no, I don't like seeing that either. I mean, I'm still going to watch it, just like when I can find the damn time, I'm going to watch Black Panther Wakanda Forever and have a review for everyone here. I'm going to try, probably not until it goes on Disney+, but I'll watch Ant-Man, and the Quantumania, like I'm trying. So.
Fury of the Gods, guys, 30.5 million grossed in domestic sales. That's 40% down from its original, the first one in 2019.
First one was
I
dope.
just got a couple questions for you guys. I want to get your guys' opinion on it, but it made 4.4 million in China in just over 21,000 locations. That's only about less than 210 per theater on average. IndieWire.com, I'm getting this information from here real quick, and just they were gonna vacated a Christmas time release, try to do the spring break release, and it's just not working. Along with the Ant-Man as well for Marvel.
I heard
Now,
bad stuff about that too.
Question that I got for you guys though is why are we seeing this kind of with like the non-Batmans or Spider-Mans or Avengers, like the second tier, if you will,
Right.
Heroes and whatnot movies? You think basically my question is, do you think that people, well, for one, is it that there's just too much stuff to watch, too many things going on, like you mentioned in pre-production? I mentioned that for the second time tonight. Do you think it's that? Do you think that it's people are just more tight with their budgets right now with what's going on in the economy? Or do you really think that it's just people aren't interested in the second tier, if you will, B-class type of superheroes, guys? What's your guys' opinion?
You can wait till it comes out on Disney Plus. I mean, there's only a
Or
handful
that.
of movies at this point where it's like, oh, shoot, new Batman. Even those HBO Max, like that was convenient too. But like the convenience of other ways makes it easier.
Because they're also saying here that making about 40 million this first weekend with a reported production cost of about 125 million before significant marketing costs, that it's probably most likely going to lose money. So it's like,
it will lose money.
Why are they going to keep making these movies if people aren't going to go watch them, right?
I mean, who knows? You could have a good second weekend because, one, you released it on St. Patrick's Day, so people are out celebrating St. Patrick's Day. It's the second day of March Madness. People are out doing stuff for March Madness, so they're at home the first weekend, like on their ass for 4 straight days watching college basketball, right? There's many factors. Let's see. Here's kind of a negative reason. People are too stupid and they're sheep, and they go ahead and read something online about all these DC movies are shit, so they're going to be freaking brand, loyal to Marvel and Disney, ABC, and they're not even going to give it a chance, right? They're too stupid to think for themselves. So that's another reason that I always think that. I give every movie a chance. I root for every comic book movie to do well. I'm not brand loyal. Obviously, in my opinion, the majority of the DC books are better by a long shot than Marvel. That might not match sales, but then again, people are brand loyal. People are story character loyal, right? Not many people knew who Shazam was. They probably figure it's not going to have anything to do with this new DCU. They even said those like next 4 movies, right? Like Shazam, maybe Blue Beetle or something. There's like the next 4 movies. The Flash does not have any ties to this James Gunn's new DCU. So like, why the hell am I going to watch? I'll catch it on HBO Max in 60 days or 90 days. I'm already paying monthly.
And unfortunately, it keeps going down that route, as you just saw YouTube TV hiking rates. I mean, they might, they're going to keep hiking rates too.
Because all these big products are ending up on it. It's ending on the products soon.
If people if they're going to spend money, sorry, Sean, if they're going to spend money to make these movies and release them, and they don't make their money through the theaters with them, I mean, and people are just going to wait to watch them on streaming, well, guess what? The streaming is going to get jacked up too.
They're going to have to recoup their funds one way or another, especially if HBO, Warner Brothers, if they're all tied together, something's going to have to give. They have to make money somehow.
And look how fast they're putting it on these platforms. Black Panther came out within like a month and a half. And how long do you before have to wait for a movie to come out on DVD or whatever? A handful of months. Yeah. So, that's one thing I think is huge. They're releasing these movies too fast to the public. I'm going to wait on my ass at home. Why am I going to go?
I think it was a perfect storm this weekend, though, with Shazam. I think if it was released a weekend before, or if it was released sometime in April, I think it would have got a little bit better numbers during that first weekend. I think too many things going on St. Patrick's Day. It's like, come on, St. Patrick's Day doesn't fall on a Friday very often, So, I don't know. But I hope it has a good second weekend because of that. Because it's like, okay, cool. Now that the Final Four is set, like or whatever, there's not many more other games, or my team is now bracket busted and they're out. Let's go see Shazam. So. But no, you're also right, Mark. I wouldn't be surprised also if it's a huge chunk of people who are like, you know what, I can't find $80 extra to take me, my wife, my 2 kids to a movie theater for tickets and a freaking bag of popcorn. Even if we're going to the Shell station down the street to get the soda and the candy. You got to get movie theater popcorn, and that's like $80 to $100 with tickets and all that shit. It's crazy.
You're not telling any lies right now, Mike.
Yeah.
No lies. No
it's all unfortunate, too, but I mean, it's just the nature of the beast, and that's what we're going to do, right? We're going to have to just, we're just going to have to say to ourselves, where can we cut costs, right? Just like these companies, they're laying hella people off. For us people who have, who are trying to cut costs as well, like these other corporations and small businesses, where do I cut costs? We're not going to the movie theaters. We're already spending money on Disney Plus, on Netflix, and on HBO Max. We're going to have to just suck it up and wait the 2 months or 6 months, however long it takes, to see these movies for free. We're already paying the monthly rate. So,
and actually, Mike, now that you mention that,
guilty.
Actually, that you mentioned that,
Never
Mike.
fails.
Go ahead.
There was some news that came out actually on that. How I think they said like 95% of subscribers said F it. They stuck with the price rate hike for Disney Plus.
Wow.
So like
only
about like 5% of people said forget it and they didn't go with it. I mean, about 95% of people, just
There's
they
so
took
much
it.
stuff on Disney Plus, bro. The whole Discovery Channel stuff,
So
Pixar,
much.
Disney, Star Wars. You can't
Marvel,
beat it. I'm
everything.
sorry, you cannot.
And then I'm at work, right? I get at work at 6 p.m. and all the West Coast hockey games, there's 3 or 4 of them. They're on ESPN Plus, like every single one. So I'm trying to convince my brother to drop his Hulu and then for us to split the bundle. So it's like the same price per person, but
what is like $14.99 or something like that?
yeah,
or?
and then I'm already paying 10. He's paying like 6 or 8 for whatever for Hulu. Might as well drop them both or drop the Hulu.
Dude.
And go halvesies on the bundle with Hulu, and then you get to add ESPN Plus. You get the UFC fights or the boxing matches with ESPN Plus.
Dude,
hockey.
El Clasico, Madrid Barca.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Some of those cup games in soccer, watch now on ESPN Plus. I'm like, well, F me. I can't freaking watch it because I don't have ESPN Plus.
I was going to bring up to you now that we did kind of bring up the Disney topic, and maybe in the past, maybe you guys already talked about it. In the past, maybe I'm just, it's a 6-foot joke for a 5'10" guy. Did you see who they said is one of the favorites to be the next, who's the CEO guy right now from Disney?
Bob Iger?
Yeah, do you see who's his possible replacement?
Wait, but he just got back.
He just came back.
He's already going to be leaving?
Well, when he eventually, he says, he said within like 3 to 5 years or something like that.
Let's see. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You get the first letter of the first name right. I couldn't even believe it because it's actually association that's within the Disney family to a degree. Freaking Adam Silver.
Oh, fuck.
Adam Silver, bro. What the hell does he know about this? Adam Silver.
Yes, the commish
of the NBA. I heard he's one of like the number one guys they're talking to eventually take the reins of
Mark,
Disney.
you know what I want to say.
Colliding.
There it is.
Jesus.
Oh, of course.
What's Disney and what's NBA right now? Holy shit, that's going to be tenfold. Oh, my God.
Well, I mean, half the NBA players look like Disney characters, too, with like their hair color and stuff. So, I don't know, bro. It was crazy.
Oh, man.
I knew that'd make you real happy.
We were just speaking on this. After stellar reviews at the abysmal weekend box office, it looks like Shazam! Fury of the Gods will be hitting digital platforms in no time, according to the film's digital films page on Prime Video.
Yep, they'll probably get
there you go,
they'll
Sean.
probably get 45, 60 days max,
I mean, not to be mean, but it's true. I mean, that's just the reality of the beast. I think everything we've said is a part. You got ignorant people. You got people who want to save money. You got maybe the wrong timing of it. It is what it is, bro. Let's just be realistic, man.
April 17th.
Yep.
Nature of the beast, brother.
Not everyone has, the opportunities for like a babysitter too. Like me and Danielle would go by ourselves, right? Like we have a young gal that we know in the area who lives in Tracy. She watches the kids sometimes when we want to go just for a drink or for dinner, just the two of us.
Nice.
She might not have been available on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like I still have work on Fridays and Saturdays. Like it just, there's so many different reasons for every household in America to not go see these movies. Not to see it, not to say it's not a good movie, but we'll have, this show and these listeners will have to wait and see. So,
do you think the whole aura surrounding Hollywood right now and whatever, if you will, the wokeness that whatever. I mean, you just mentioned it, Sean. Disney and NBA and just other stuff that goes down in Hollywood. Really, I just think that some people might be kind of not really supporting certain stuff right now. Just I don't know.
Well,
You
yeah,
see,
I mean, if people were on the fence about it, then what's been happening and what's been reported on and said and what so on and so forth, that could be the tipping point where it's like, all right, cool, that's all I needed. Boom, I'm not going to the movie theater.
but I mean,
Yep, that is
as
unfortunately the truth.
you're right, but as dim as it does seem, and it could be, I mean, I think that, obviously Disney, Marvel, DC, Warner Brothers, HBO, I think that they're in pretty good hands being tied to, these superheroes and these nostalgic, villains and whatnot, and just characters that basically date back to 30s, 40s, 50s, and, just people still love them. So,
Yep.
and people, and I think that what goes around comes around. I think eventually theaters, because it's like, yeah, we talk about these superhero movies. Yes, we do. And these these second tier heroes, if you will. But at the same time, it's not just superhero movies that are getting hit. It's all movies. And, what goes around comes around. And I hope theater doesn't die in America. So,
No, I think, you know what? You know who's going to have a good summer? Is The Flash.
Oh, yeah, it
it's just
should.
the second you unveil
Definitely
Michael
should.
Keaton in that Batman suit, bro, it's gonna have a great time at the theater.
I seen that Ben Affleck says he plays Batman for less than 5 minutes in that movie,
really.
That's
which is all it needs to
Which
be,
is fine.
actually. That's all it actually needs to be, I think. I was actually like, okay, good. This is clarity. I don't mind that
I
at all.
mean, and they're actually bringing in like the Flashpoint paradox aspect to it. And instead of Clark Kent, it's Kara. It's Supergirl. With her being down in the dungeons of this version of the universe, right? And her being without any yellow sun, and so she's all skinny, and you can see her spine and stuff. And as soon as you get her out into the yellow sun, she's an ass-kicking machine. So that's definitely a movie that I'm going to try to get a sitter for well in advance to go see that opening weekend, or at least the second week.
Hopefully people aren't down and out about the whole fact of how the main actor was just kind of going AWOL and doing all this stuff. That might keep people away, or
and the fact that
from going.
and the fact that this is one of those movies, like I just said, that's not connected to like
DCU.
Like Ezra Miller's a one and done. So maybe they change their minds if this is super successful. Not sure, but I would kind of argue for the him being done.
Ezra Purdue Miller.
Yeah, just exactly one and done. That's a good segue. That's a very good segue, Mark. Let's remind everyone that this is the Comic Bookies podcast. You are listening or watching live right now, episode 181. We are on YouTube, and we are also on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, pretty much everywhere you get your podcast. Thank you so much for watching or listening right now. Brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. All right, guys, let's do it. NCAA March Madness, the first 2 rounds, the first 4 days are in the books. I know that all of our brackets are pretty much done. As soon as Purdue lost, that was my champion.
I didn't make it that far. I lost the Virginia game.
Virginia. People lost Arizona. People lost Kansas. So just a bunch of just hoopla, as is expected, right, in all these tournaments. So, Sean, what was a couple of takeaways of the first 4 days of the tournament? And then, of course, we can discuss stuff going forward into this upcoming weekend.
Well, it did definitely give me the flashbacks of us being at CSI, putting it on, doing brackets like we knew what the hell we were doing, putting, okay, this team's playing this team. Let's pretend we know what the hell is going to happen. No, we just had fun with it. And this tournament, again, just reminds me why, even though I don't watch damn near any college basketball during the season, it is one of the best tournaments in sports, because college basketball is actually just, it's basketball. I seen a coach, I think it may have been the Razorbacks coach, Musselman. And I think it was him who said it's easier to score in the NBA than college basketball. And I couldn't agree with that statement more, because they actually play defense. It's actually a half-court offense, half-court defense. And you just see these kids, man, there's so much passion, bro. I'm actually seeing more fans at these, Fair Dickinson games instead of like I don't know, the... but when you're seeing these fans just like thriving,
that 2-3 zone too, it's hard to score on them.
1-3-1 zone, bro. You can't beat that, bro. Like, I don't know. I just love. I mean, Princeton versus Arizona. Tell me what fairy tale that happens in. Like, come on, guys.
Princeton twice, bro.
I also like the aspect it's like 8 minutes shorter than an NBA game, and the players actually have one less foul to obviously to work
huge.
with.
Only 5.
And that makes it a big big deal with that one.
20 minutes straight is a lot harder than people think. So 2 20-minute halves is a lot harder than 4. Say they went 4 10-minute quarters. Can you? Play
Is that what they
minutes?
do? Isn't that what they do in the women's? They have quarters in the
quarters.
Is it 10 minutes?
I think it's
I
10
didn't know
minutes.
that.
Yes. Yeah, they do quarters, which I don't know why it's universal between men
Sorry.
and women, but 2
Not watching
20-minute
that very
halves,
often.
it's hard, man. Yeah.
I'll
No
admit
comment.
I'll admit though, but for women's basketball, I probably watch the women's tournament over the WNBA. To be honest with you,
I think
Probably.
anyone watches
Oh,
those
yeah.
things over the WNBA.
Jesus.
No offense. No, call me a hater. I actually think there's great players. If it actually was on TV, I would see some of the bits and pieces.
you can
But
go to a
it's-
game with Darren Waller then.
Hey, his wife.
I'm watching a
job.
pickleball tournament on CBS Sports.
There it is, bro. There. All of a sudden, he's traded, and he's a freaking enemy of the state. Jeez, I'll take him any day for a third
Sean,
round
I was
pick.
talking shit about him as soon as he got hurt, and as soon as he was released that music video. This is not.
I
This
hate
is
the
not
music
nothing new.
video. No, the only thing I hate the music video. The only thing I'll say, he's missed a lot of games the past 2 seasons, but the previous 3 seasons before that, he missed how many games? But it's a what have you done for me now league lately. I know
for
what
sure.
it is, but that's what it comes down to. Hey, you guys saved about $40 million between that and cars, so I can't get mad at you guys.
Yeah, but we traded in our
Anyways.
2003 Toyota Corolla for a 2005 Nissan Altima with fucking Jimmy G.
What are you talking
Oh,
about, bro?
God.
That's the 3rd best quarterback in Niner history, right
The
there,
Hustler
guys.
Club just gave him like a lifetime VIP
Right down the street, baby.
membership worth like $500,000. Oh Christ,
Dude,
this is gonna be
you
a
know
shit
what?
show, bro. 7-10
So-
at the fucking at the
I
best.
can't wait till Jimmy takes you guys to the freaking playoffs.
No
I
way.
actually pray for it because the hate that I'm hearing on Jimmy, bro.
No, hell no. Freaking
Surprise.
Herbert, Mahomes, and Russell Wilson will have to go down with
Even Russ.
ACL
Russ about to
tears.
come- Russ with Sean Payton. Oof,
I know,
no.
right? Like the Broncos are the team who are going to be back, right?
We'll see, bro.
Anyways,
we'll see.
back to the tournament. So, Mark, you're probably one to actually put in some wagers with some cold hard cash. Anything that you were upset at, kind of like that TCU game yesterday.
I had a 5-teamer. I had Indiana. I went 4-1 on that one. I needed the last leg. Obviously, Miami. They got the win over Indiana, just like the women did today. A repeat.
Blame
crazy.
Damon Bruce.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy that Miami, the men and the women, both played each other, and they same outcome. Miami both beat them. But I mean, going forward, man, what do you guys think? Let's talk about some of these games coming up. We can, obviously talk about the past, but the games were pretty good. Obviously, pretty surprising. The San Diego State always playing good defense. They're here. Obviously, they got to face Alabama now. That's pretty scary. They're a juggernaut. I lost to them, but they've been pretty impressive. They also got to play Houston. Creighton has been impressive as well. I actually had them over Baylor, so that was a good win. Texas is strong. We've seen the turmoil they had with their coach Chris Beard and whatnot getting fired midway through the season, but they're going to play Xavier in this 2-3 matchup here as a -4 favorite. That's going to be a good one. A team I like to ride, sitting in that 7th seed, is going to be playing Kansas State, and that's Michigan State. Mr. Tom Izzo.
Dude, H to the Izzo.
I think Izzo has a good chance to get to this Elite 8, but I'll tell you what, Kansas State ain't no joke either. They're a pretty good, solid team. Connecticut, one of my other teams that I really like all the time, and just they're playing Musclemen, like you mentioned.
I'm sorry, it's just H to the Izzo. I don't know why that made me lose it.
Izzo?
I'm like a freaking dog and eagle run around the yard. Sean's just like H to the Izzo. It just made me lose it. My bad. Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
H to the Izzo. I didn't even hear him say that. Sorry.
That's why I'm losing over here. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Florida Atlantic impressive. What do you think?
Tennessee about to smack that ass.
I think that-
Tennessee about to eat.
I
them
think that
boys up, boy.
UCLA Gonzaga game is going to be pretty
Best
fun.
game.
Yeah, that's
Best
a good
game
one.
of the next round, hands down.
Oh, you think so? What do you guys think?
Hands down, bro.
What do you guys say? Let me get some odds here for the tournament.
Yeah, I like both of the 2-3 matchups.
That's
I
true.
like
Me
the Texas
too.
Xavier
Love
and then the
the 2-3
Gonzaga
matchups.
and UCLA matchups. I really like those. San
I
Diego
think that
State,
Michigan State.
Kyle Spain's going to come in and freaking handle.
The Spaniard and Kawhi Leonard.
Right?
I think Arkansas is going to beat UConn. The number
Okay.
8 Razorbacks are going to go and beat UConn. And that UCLA loss last year in overtime versus Gonzaga. Man, I know UCLA. I see them play, and I sometimes think that their point guard, the brother with the dreads, that boy's a little too aggressive sometimes. He doesn't dish the ball the more than he should. I want UCLA to win, but my mind is still saying Gonzaga, unfortunately. Timmy, man, he looks like a freaking 50 or freaking 40-year-old playing basketball.
Is that why you sent the Timmy gif the other day? Mark, that was funny.
Timmy.
No, it's a lot of fun matchups, though. I think Mark is completely right, man. I mean, even okay, we're in the freaking Sweet 16, and we got Creighton and Princeton. Someone please tell me who had Creighton and Princeton in the Sweet 16. That's going to be a super fun game. When Mike said the 2-3 matchups are wonderful. Dude, that Alabama team, bro, I was watching them the other day, and holy shit, they're good. They have length. They can shoot. They can defend. They're athletic. They're one of those, something has to go wrong that day, and you better be hitting on every cylinder because
Their defense is on point.
They're great. They're disciplined, so damn disciplined, and man, it's beautiful basketball. That's for damn sure. So no, we still got
and that's why they're favorite. They're a favorite to win
Strong
the tournament
favorites.
here, about 3-1, 3.5 to 1. But man, they took over football. Now they're gonna come on and take over basketball now too. Jesus.
It's a real killer on that team,
Crimson,
man.
that Crimson Tide is no joke, man, in all these sports. But then you got Houston right under Alabama at about 4-1 here. UCLA is in third, about 8-1. UConn right there also about 8-9-1. Creighton's getting love. Creighton getting more love than Texas, Tennessee, and Gonzaga for some reason. It's not too high on Gonzaga. Are these odd? Okay, yeah. Gonzaga about 12-1, 10-1, and then of course you got your longer shots, which are actually going to be playing each other. The Michigan State and Kansas State. Your 3-7 matchup with
Kansas State needs a little bit more love, man. I agree with I don't know if it was a marker or Mike you said, but dude, they're good. Kansas State, I think, is a really good basketball team.
Yeah, I think we got a couple good teams that are, like you said, Alabama, Houston. I think they're probably cut above the rest. Gonzaga maybe, but Gonzaga, I don't know. I haven't been high on them all season.
Gonzaga ain't gonna hang, I think, with the Alabama.
Yeah,
it's one of those that you see. I think that's one of those college football things. You see this small school, small conference team, when you kind of put them against one of those juggernauts. Man, I just don't see it, bro. Alabama, they're a cut above, bro.
Why isn't Arkansas?
Arkansas is good, bro. I don't know why they aren't getting no love. Don't be surprised, man.
It's Musclemen, baby.
Muscle man taking that shirt off, going.
Well, they took out Gonzaga last year, right? Was it in the Elite Eight? I know Arkansas took them out last year, Gonzaga, and Gonzaga was they were really highly favored again last year.
Yeah, they were a 1.
That Moses Moody alma mater right there, baby. Come on,
So
now.
this is going to be our last episode before it ends, because this weekend we get to the Final Four, and then the next weekend we don't record leading up to that Final Four. So maybe that that Monday night, like the 3rd or something like that, would be the next one that we would record. So it would be like a live,
that would be the national championship.
It would be like a live reaction post national championship. So who are going to be playing in the national championship from us, the Common Bookies, and who's going to take it?
There it is.
All right, I'm gonna go Alabama for sure, because they are, in my opinion, just a cut above. And this bottom was the hard one. You know what? I'm going to go. Alabama is gonna face Tennessee, and I'll go with. It's gonna come down to Houston or Texas. Damn, Texas is good, but Houston's really good. We'll go with Houston against versus Gonzaga.
Be Houston against Alabama, right?
Wait, are you doing the Final Four? Or are you doing
just Final Four? Sorry.
Oh, I thought we were just doing the champion.
Who cares?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Well, champion, I'm going Alabama. I'll keep it simple.
I'll roll with the Pac-12. Let's do UCLA.
Let's go.
And then they'll play Alabama, and UCLA wins.
Ooh, I like it.
I got
Spicy.
UConn and Bama playing in the championship.
Okay.
You got UConn.
UConn
You
and
got that UConn hat, baby.
UConn and Bama. I want to say Michigan State, but I don't think they got enough to hang. Sean's right with that. Bama. They've been tough all freaking season, man. They've had adversity also, and they just.
Dude, they lost like one of their best players who freaking got that murder charge, right?
Yeah, and then the other
one of, if not their best player, like.
And then the other,
still dogging them.
you didn't hear all. And there's so much controversy that the other star that's playing shouldn't even be playing because supposedly he brought the weapon to him. There's a bunch of stuff going on.
It's crazy, yeah.
But they are good, but they could probably win it, bro. Maybe I got them winning it too over UConn. I hate to say that, but actually, you know
He's
what?
Just trying to wear that UConn hat.
I'll take UConn. I'll take UConn,
Dang,
baby.
okay.
I have to
he's
write
wearing that UConn hat that freaking got him that win
to-
years ago.
wins.
That's right.
This is when I start writing UConn actually in the Sweet 16. Let's go.
Is
it just
Kemba
sucks.
Or Napier year?
That's Napier.
Ooh, shabazz,
Like
baby.
Tony that just showed up, Anthony.
Yeah. Let's
Nice,
go.
nice. All right, let's do real quick World Baseball Classic. We got Japan versus USA coming up now at the Lone Depot Park. This is coming up on.
Mañana.
Oh, it's tomorrow. So
Tomorrow.
a little something, USA pride. Right before the season starts. I don't know. I would never be upset if they never did this again, right? Because Edwin Diaz goes down, and then.
That sucked. But celebrating,
But
bro.
he was celebrating.
He
was
Bill Grammatica. Tear your own ACL.
That's very true.
Come on, knucklehead.
That's very true because if he didn't do it then, he might have done it in a spring training game, But you don't get excited like that for a spring training game.
I was going to quickly ask you guys. I mean, I know, we're not going to talk too much about this, but you have these kind of tournaments, and it's like, damn, the U.S., them boys showed out with that lineup. Like, that's a sexy-ass lineup. That's like, okay, we got the best of the best on that damn lineup. Goldschmidt, or Arenado,
Trey
Mookie,
Turner.
Trout, Trey Turner, like, good golly Miss Molly. Okay, our team is good. But then you go to the freaking Olympics, and we got Joe Blow number one, freaking Joe Blow number two. Like, what's kind of been your guys' opinion on those kind of things?
I don't know.
It could be. Well, it's played in America, right? The World Baseball Classic.
That I think besides the point. Only because every World Baseball Classic, we bring the troops, we bring the best players there. But I think it's actually just Olympic rules. Why do you think there's rules? Like even soccer, you can only have like 2 or 3 people that are considered like.
You can't bring the dream team for baseball. Why?
It's weird, bro. I don't know if they don't qualify or they just don't want to go.
I think it used to be like that for hockey too. Like the 1980 Olympics when they beat the USSR, they had college kids and shit.
College kids,
I don't know. I don't know why there's not rules. Maybe because we're the best of the best. We all wake up, we piss excellence. You know what I'm saying? If you're not first, you're last.
Drip, baby.
Yeah. I mean, so maybe they just need. Do they need to cut it back, like kind of prevent us from just taking the best of the best? Because why wouldn't they do that to basketball? Man. Basketball is by far the best. You can't really say that USA is the best at baseball because a lot of these Latin American or these Latin countries, the China, Korea, Japan, they have good teams too. Like basketball is far and above the best.
The only thing I gotta say about basketball, because we did have that one tournament, I think we lost to Spain or Argentina or something. We've had some of those hiccups. I think that's where the mentality of the players now have just changed from the mentality back then. Because we had the dream team, all Hall of Famers. When we had the LeBron, Kobe, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo, no one should beat that team, bro. And that's just probably just some lazy ass motherfuckers lazy guys the night before, probably clubbing, gambling or something. Bro, y'all should never lose. You're that good. But I agree.
I'm pretty sure the dream team went out and partied though. Come on.
Jordan was probably up until 4
Michael,
p.m., 4
Charles
a.m.
Barkley, Magic. Come on, those guys.
But they knew how to turn it on, though. That's the thing between them and now. Those guys just knew how to turn it on. I don't know. These guys now, they divas,
soft.
Man.
So it's a winner take all, right, guys?
I believe so. Yes.
One game.
USA is
starting to roll.
favored -120 to Japan's even money. You can get Japan on the run line +1.5 at -155. USA -1.5 on the run line +130. It's pretty tight on the money line, to tell you the truth. 20-cent difference there. So
they expected
Japan's
starters
good.
Shohei and Lance Lynn, I want to say. I need to
No, I don't think
double-check
it's Lin.
that.
It's Iwamasa. I just saw it right now. It
Dude, they started like their 23-year-old today. This boy is hitting 102 for Japan. Like, dude,
Imanaga.
gas.
Imanaga is going for Japan, and then Kelly is going for USA.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'll take it. Let's
So
go.
I mean, just to get us ready for MLB season, that's pretty cool. Like any extracurricular activity
I've been
and
hearing
stuff.
a lot.
I think it's pretty cool. I haven't watched really any of the games, but I'll tune in tomorrow.
I think it's cool.
Nice.
I think there's a lot more. I mean, when I was younger, I don't remember so many other countries being into baseball like this, or at least Mexico maybe. Like, I don't really ever remember Mexico being a baseball, but it seems like a lot of they have fans, and a lot of people were into like Mexico wanting to advance and whatnot. So it's cool to, obviously with a big Mexican population here in California, it kind of really showed out that I thought only Mexicans usually cared about soccer and boxing mostly, but
very strategic though. Mexico played most of their games in Arizona, and then they had the game in Miami, the elimination game. So, and that's the way you want to do it though. You promote it and make it accessible for the fans.
It's like the
and
World
stuff.
Cup, man. Why not want to showcase these countries and like their players? I mean, it's exciting. I think it's pretty cool, honestly.
I mean, you're right about Mexico too, because Mexico, when we were younger, was Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Venezuela. All those countries that were super, super into baseball and had like arguably the best players in the major leagues.
100%.
So,
but I know Mexico does have like their league, right? Those tomateros or whatever. They got like a team called the tomatoes or whatever. And so, I mean, I know they got their league and they're into it. I just didn't know it was like that big, but I guess it is really.
Yeah.
Never really kept up on Mexican baseball league, but if you're in,
They don't got Chivas in America,
right? If there's any comic bookie fans out there that know anything about the MLB, not the Major League Baseball, but the Mexican League Baseball.
Just watch like season 2 or 3 of Eastbound and Down. When Kenny Powers goes down to the Mexican League and plays down there.
Nice.
It's hella funny, yeah. Okay, so to round out the episode, to round out the sports, we have NASCAR. We're going to go ahead real quick into Phoenix and Atlanta. We're going to recap those races. So we have William Byron winning for the second week in a row at Phoenix, and then Mark's own Joey Logano. If you're watching live on YouTube right now, you see it in the back, the Am Better Health 400, not 500, so they decreased it by 100 miles this year. But yeah, so two very different racetracks. You have a mile, I believe, mile and a half for Phoenix, and then you have pretty much a repaved little junior super speedway in Atlanta. So, and oh man, what am I gonna do with Eric Almirola? I mean, it's
not his fault.
It's his team's, right, for not taking any tires.
Tires, yeah, but they wanted the track position.
Yeah, and where did they get you? In like 31st or whatever, or
dude, that stuff's so crazy. Like when you don't get tires, it's devastating. It is devastating because I don't know how many times it screwed me in the video game. Well, I'm getting that lap position, and them tires screwed me big time.
Right, especially because and then all these guys are on new tires in real life or the video game, and within half a lap you're back down in 15th, 20th, anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, never mind. I guess I need to pit. You make a green flag pit stop, and sure enough, you're now 2 laps down. I don't know, man. I mean, he causes the late caution in Vegas.
What's more? Who's more annoying, Larry McReynolds or Eric Almirola?
Larry McReynolds was only the call in Vegas saying it, but Eric Almirola actually causing it, and then he caused it this time. Now, I'm not going to say that Larson would have won the race, but he was up in the top 5 to top 8 the whole race. I would probably put one of those Fords, either Keselowski or the 3 Penske guys, as the winner of the race no matter what. But just, let's just say he gets a top 5. You go from top 5 to I think he finished 30th or 31st. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then, of course, with the penalties that got put onto Hendrick Motorsports last week, it's an uphill battle. You got to win, you right? And then even after you win those playoff points that you got docked, it's an even steeper uphill battle once those playoff points, once everything's reset, they're going to be at the bottom. They're going to have to win each round or just gain hella points throughout the season. Those louvers, man, those freaking louvers are going to put them into a deep shit hole if they don't have a lot of wins, a lot of stage points, kind of recoup their playoff points going forward. But, man, those fours were freaking rockets in qualifying and during the race as well. A hard-fought race for Keselowski. Kind of felt bad for him. Like, the only block he missed. Only block he missed during those last, 15, 20 laps. It was the final push for Logano to get up there and win. But
dude, he was cruising at the end of the race. I was like, every time I would, really quick change the channel, away from the race and go back, because dude, Keslo's cruising, bro. Just don't mess up. Don't mess up.
So back and forth. It was great action, too.
You got to give it up to Bell, actually, for giving Logano that push. I mean, once you're on his outside like that, I mean, Keselowski, like he mentioned at the end of the race, with, drivers respecting each other and how you can race clean to the finish without wrecking all these cars, and that how he appreciates them for doing so and whatnot. So, but Joey was just too strong on that outside. And, you knew obviously coming to the checkers that Joey would be a little bit more aggressive as well, which makes it a little bit harder, obviously, for Keselowski to block. But at the end of the day, you heard, obviously, Logano's been wanting a win at this track for a very long time. He used to race late models, they said there, lived in those apartments or condos up right by the track for 4 years with his dad, and pretty cool seeing his dad in 15, or he's been trying for however many years there. Just pretty cool to see him win, 32nd. And if you actually listen to Denny Hamlin's the Actions Detrimental podcast this morning, he actually is talking about Joey, and that he actually was, giving him a lot of praise. He's saying that Joey, he's 32, I think, maybe. He's saying that he still has 12 years plus or whatever, that he's at 32 wins, that he could probably reach something about where Kyle Busch is at with 60 something, and that he thinks that Joey Logano is really one of the best, if not the best guy out there right now racing. Pretty crazy coming out of Hamlin's mouth.
He is the defending champion, just
I mean, he is.
People forget that. He's two-time champion, current defending champion.
We've seen both the championships.
It's hard because he is my guy, and he is my guy, and I love, he's a great driver. He has 2 championships, but he's in great equipment. When it comes to real driving talent, do I think that maybe a Bell, a Larson, a Busch probably have better driving talent than him? I don't know, maybe it's that Penske equipment. He really is good, and I'm not throwing anything away from him, but he obviously wins these races on these first tracks with that, which is pretty crazy, right? He won the first Bristol dirt race, he won that first Clash, he won that Gateway last year, and he's really good at figuring out these tracks for the first time, I guess. So I guess I am kind of discrediting him a little bit, but I've just seen some guys just wheel the hell out of that car when it, on dirt, when it comes with Bell and Larson and whatnot. And it's just, man, takes a lot of car control. So I know it's a different type of style, but hey, Joey gets it done for damn sure.
That was good, man. That push was unbelievable, bro. That's the part of race where I'm I don't know, that I love that so much. And
he's a Logano, dude. I think he's one of the best plate race or super speedway racers out there for sure. Him and Keselowski are really, really good. Another shout out to Keselowski, the only driver so far yes, he has 0 wins. I saw that. Yeah, 0. But he's the only driver to lead all 5 races this year at least once, which is pretty crazy. That's hard to do. Yeah. Even if one lap is a caution lap or something, it is what it is, but to lead every single race, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
So kudos for him and getting that 6 car kind of on the right track this season. Like to see that with Jack Roush and that famed number 6 car, the famous 6. So that's good. That's good for RFK. That's good for everybody involved, the team, the sponsors, King's Hawaiian Bread, everything. Like Clint Boyer said, it makes some good sliders right there.
They do.
But
and then my pulled pork,
yeah,
love it.
An aspect that we don't really talk about. Oh, sorry,
No, I
go
was just
ahead,
going to
Mike.
say, and then our picks from the Comic Bookies official Twitter page hit 2 out of our 3 bets. We had Christopher Bell in the top 3, Ford to win, and we were there all day, except when he went back, into 30-something, but we had Blaney to win as well. So, but Penske wins regardless. But yeah, hit 2 out of 3 bets this week. Sean?
And I just missed Cindric to get the top
Oh,
10.
I
He was
know.
there at the end pushing Blaney and Logano, and just at the very end when everyone scrambles, man, he finished in P11. So I missed out by 1 position,
Damn.
but it is what it is. I
I'm
won
always
on.
interested of looking like at the finances of like a race. So, for example, like looking at the purses for the Atlantic weekend, including all payouts for the positions for the racers. The Truck Series, they do a equal payout of 673,000. So they divide that up between winner and what so. The Xfinity 1.2 and the Cup Series 8.7. So I'm always, that's one other thing I always wonder, like how much does a racer make? If they win a certain race, how do they base what the purse is going to be for that specific race? So I always wonder, like Logano, how much of that 8.7 do you think he walks away with?
Of the purse?
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if he walks away with any of it. I think the team
Or maybe
walks away
the
with
team.
the team. I mean, he's under contract. He makes what he makes on his contract. Maybe he has incentives and whatnot. But
Probably.
out of
That makes
1.8, he might. I mean, how
No,
many
out of 8.8
million for the purse?
Over
8.7.
He's probably making like close to $1 million if you're the winner, right? I'd say
say.
700,000-800,000.
Shoot, that year that freaking Harvick was winning hella races.
I mean,
boy.
you got 36 cars
Larson
out
had
there.
10
You got
2 years ago.
Larson. Damn.
He had
And that's
10
why-
2 years ago, and plus the $1 million All-Star race.
Jimmy Johnson was like a 7-time winner. Damn.
That's why it's so important also for you to run good, like a Corey LaJoy. I mean, someone that's a smaller team, a smaller organization, to get that 4th place finish.
Dude.
That's really good for the
Hell yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Get that extra money in your pocket and whatnot. So,
Definitely.
and that's another driver,
cool.
LaJoy,
Kudos
in
to
that
him,
Seven
man.
Spire Motorsports, man.
Was he top Chevy?
He might have
He
been.
might have been because it was Keselowski, Bell,
Yes,
Logano,
he
and then
was.
LaJoy, top Chevy. Man, that would have paid out big time if you just sprinkled a little bit of your Fairleigh Dickinson money on that.
5.
Oh, right.
So going forward, we have Coda. We have a bunch of different tracks going forward. We have Coda, which is a road course out in Austin, Richmond, Virginia, which is a short track. Then we have, I believe, Martinsville, and then Dirty Bristol, or Dirty
Virginia.
Bristol, then Martinsville. So a lot of like shorter tracks coming up, and then of course our one road course. So last year was the good battle at the end. That was Allmendinger, Bowman, and Chastain last year.
Chastain ended up smashing the pumpkin.
Yep,
Chastain.
smashing it. That was his first win of the year, first win of his career, I believe, was that Coda race last year. So, and then the year before that was the first ever race, and that was the rain-shortened race that Chase Elliott took.
Chase Elliott. Dude, that was the one that they were rooster tailing and they were all running into each other, right?
You couldn't see
Oh, that
shit,
was
and then like
wild.
someone got
Truex.
We were at your house, I think, Mark. I was at your house when it was hella wet, right? Hella rainy.
Yeah, so it.
I was
Yeah,
at your. I was at your house.
that was a shit show. They had a shit show with the. Wasn't that the year that Bush? That was the year that Bush started that Magic Mile in Loudon race, and it was like six laps
Oh my
in, and
God.
it rained,
then
and he
was.
wrecked. And
Oh my God, he was so pissed. That was 2021. That was Larson's year. Which might I add, I got kind of bored at work and I checked total wins for our 3 drivers. So Larson has Chase Elliott by 1, 19 to 18, and then of course now
Nice.
Logano had 31. Now it's 32. I'm pretty sure I remembered and memorized all 19 of Larson's wins.
Wow.
Dang.
Starting with the first, huh?
Michigan.
Legendary.
And Michigan, our
Legendary.
auto club that we went to in 2017, and then
Montana,
2
baby.
straight Michigans after that. So it was ended up being 3 straight races at Michigan. He won, and then he wins at Dover, and then he wins at Richmond. And this is all between like 2016, 17, and then of course 2020 when COVID happens, and then he does his thing on the internet and gets suspended. Then he comes back for the 2021 season and has 10 wins, including excluding the 11th win at Texas. So he does Shit, man. I had it like
It sounds like something you were on the shitter on for like an hour just trying to
no,
memorize
I was in
it.
between. I had finished updating this, and this, and I was like, oh, I got like an hour before I have to go down to the floor, and I was just like
Yeah.
messing around. So it was, let's see, it was Auto Club. No, not Auto Club. No, it wasn't Auto Club that year. I think the first one was, God damn it, I had it too. I had it memorized. I think it was Charlotte the first one. It was like Charlotte, and then Sonoma. Then he wins Texas, so that doesn't count. Then he goes Nashville, and then he goes Watkins Glen. Then he goes Bristol. He wins. Did I say Nashville?
I don't think you said Nashville.
No, so Nashville, and then he wins,
think
and
so,
then he
Nashville.
wins the Roval, and then Texas, Kansas, Phoenix, and then of course last year the three that he wins were Auto Club, Watkins Glen again, and Miami Homestead. So all 19.
Oh, I am impressed, sir.
Yep.
I'm very impressed.
Okay, so
And he's running good. I mean, his time's gonna come this year. That's for sure.
yeah, so I mean we'll see. But what do you say? But what say you for Coda and Richmond? I know we have obviously like I just mentioned, Larson's won at Richmond before, but something completely different than what we've been experiencing so far. Of course, we had Daytona, and then we went down, and then we had the 2 mile track at Auto Club, and then we have this mini super speedway at Atlanta. Now we come to all these short tracks, and of course Coda. So a different setup, obviously, a different mindset, of course, for come race day.
And that's what's so cool. And that's what's so cool about racing, right? It's, sticking ball, you play football, it's the same field every single week. In this sport, right?
Changes every time.
The playing field changes every single week. So I think that's pretty cool. Now you're hitting a road course, and man, road course going to be tough here. I think Larson's going to be good again. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Who's not going to be good is Chase Elliott. He's probably kicking himself for not being able to race this one.
With his non-broken foot.
Poor guy.
I think he raced good, obviously, this past week and fell behind, towards the end. But I think Ross Chastain, obviously he did good last year. But I think I like what I've seen out of him actually this past week. I think he's going to for sure have some success this week.
Allmendinger.
I like Allmendinger. You're right. McDowell's decent on road
McDowell's
courses.
decent. I know that what's his name? He got the win 2 years ago at the Daytona Roval when they did Daytona, and then Christopher Bell got that win. So
Bring that up,
there's a couple.
Bell,
there's a couple
dude,
guys.
you're starting to like Bell, I think.
No, I can't.
Why, you're starting to like? Why? Why do you're starting to like Bell? I'm noticing
I don't
that.
know.
He's cool.
I don't know. He seems like the only Toyota that's always like he's. I know Hamlin's
solid.
Hamlin, but Bell's like one of the more consistent kids, one of the more consistent guys there at the Joe Gibbs Racing camp.
He really came on last year, man.
I mean, and then how clutch was that? Like last year, he won the final race of the quarterfinals and the semifinals. The round of 12 and the round of 8. He won both of the last races, the Charlotte Roval and Martinsville. He was, down in like 11th or 12th. Boom, into the next round. He was in 8th. Boom, into the final 4. Crazy.
One of the guys I follow on Twitter, you might follow him also. What did he say? He said something about the 21, the Wood brothers. They deserve better than what Harrison Burton's running for that car. And I was like, I totally agreed with him. He was like, what did he say? He said, put what's his name in there? The truck driver, Zane Smith in there. So it's like, I don't know, man. That 21, Harrison Burton, he came up quick from that Xfinity series, but
I think, 2 years ago, 2021 was his first year.
Yeah, I wish he would be running a little bit better, especially because that's a Penske sister car, right? Pretty much that car's built in the Penske shop and whatnot, kind of just owned by the Wood brothers and whatnot. But I'd like to see that car be running a little bit better. I loved it when Blaney was in it. Man, that was like my favorite car when Blaney was in it.
Who was in there before? Paul Menard? Or Paul Menard was Paul Menard was there after.
Benedetto was in there.
Paul Menard was there after when then Blaney went to Penske.
Or was that? And then the Benedetto went in there too, right?
A year or two, yeah.
So,
so we'll see. And obviously, if you're following our Instagram and our Twitter pages, we'll be, putting out some stats and some picks and stuff for the Coda race and the Richmond race. Obviously, getting you ready for episode 182 coming the first week of April. But that's it, fellas. I'm done. We're about 10 minutes short of 2 hours. It's just 10 after. It's 11:11. Make a wish for episode 181. But send us away, fellas.
181 was fun, man. I mean, that NASCAR talk, we got the 2 races last week, the 2 races, the previous 2 weeks, and the next 2 weeks. So I'm actually really enjoying that. Comic book talk. I mean, 2 weeks worth of books for all of us. You can see how much fun we're having. To the fans, I'm loving the interaction we're having with you guys. To what Mike said, those are like small victories. I feel good when, you see the Image, Dark Horse, whoever it may be, with the retweets, the simple likes. We're going to keep coming, obviously, bi-weekly, providing great content to you guys. And in return, just keep interacting with us, subscribe, like us, repost us, and just keep supporting us. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of long episode, as we know it's going to be each and every other week that it is now. But we hope you guys enjoy it. We hope you guys don't skip through, listen to it all. Or if you guys are sports or just comic fans or whatnot, just we hope you guys share us and check us out on all social media, as always, at the Comic Bookies on Instagram, on Twitter as well. You can connect with us there if you want to write us an email. You can also do that as well or the comicbookies@gmail.com. And yeah, we just hope that you guys enjoy the rest of the week. You guys enjoy listening to this episode. You guys enjoy the madness. You guys enjoy the racing, the books. Unfortunately, we got some in today that were a little weathered, damaged, but
yeah, that's right. The Kindergartens finally showed up from Victor Dandridge, but only one of them was like visibly, like I'll probably be keeping that one, but all 10 are readable. So each of us is going to get one, and we'll have a nice, huge giveaway.
Nice. That's awesome.
So thank you to the hardest working man in comics, Mr. Victor Dandridge, for that
Thank you,
one.
brother.
And just thank you guys for tuning in to 181. It, of course, has been fun. And take it away, Mike.
I will say what Sean was saying about Twitter, and when you shouted out the artist, I believe, Dalibor Talajic earlier, I randomly went on Twitter, like when one of you was talking, followed him, he immediately followed back. So now we got a new nice little comic book artist.
There it is, man.
Episode 181.
Hopefully we can run into some of these guys at Comic-Con, right?
Yes, sir. Oh, that's the story, Sean. So before we go really quick. So
story time, baby.
San Diego, the city of San Diego, has a new short-term rental ordinance. So only 1% of every single rental property in the city of San Diego, besides from Mission Beach, they get 30%. Only 1% has to purchase a waiver or a license to be able to rent their properties for less than 30 days. So me and Mark get rejected at the first 2 or 3 places because they need, sorry, like we're looking for a longer stay. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like whatever. Then the last lady says she actually references the ordinance. So we're like, crap. So we finally found a gem of a place that's like only 3 miles away, 3.5 miles away, decent price. And of course, the person said that this specific property won't be affected in July come May when the new ordinance comes in. So we have a place to stay for San Diego Comic-Con. Can't wait to see everyone down there. But I can't wait to see these 2 guys in 2 weeks for episode 182. Stay tuned, follow us, listen, watch, share. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, enjoy each other. Peace the hell out. Have a great week. Stay dry.
Peace.
Peace, and always enjoy each other. Enjoy the madness. Enjoy the racing. Enjoy the love. Later.
He said enjoy the